Hey, I'm Brian Hopkins from West Burlington, Iowa, and welcome to B-HopsAntiqueShop.
Hey B-Hop, well thank you for having me on. We're gonna ask you a few questions about your vision, what do you got going on with all of your items, and just kind of take us through what you want to do for the community. You've got a great message for us, so go ahead.
Well, I want to build a community. I moved to Burlington in 1994 from Michigan. Got a job in Burlington. First thing I ever did was I went to an auction. I didn't know anybody. I went to an auction. Guy asked me if I wanted to help, so I said absolutely. I needed a job. His name is Paul and Faylene Smith. They owned Auction by Smith, and I started just moving things out of the house, and it turned into where there was an opening for a ring person, which is somebody that holds an item up and the auctioneer chants and sells it. So I had that opportunity and loved it. Got into antiques and vintage and been doing it since 1994.
Very nice, very good, very good. Tell us a little bit about the couch that you're sitting on right now. You told me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we picked up a lot of items throughout the years. This sofa is by a pretty decently known Italian designer. It was made in 1981, and we'll showcase that later with a number of our other items. Right now we're in a property that my real estate company owns, and it's decorated from 1950 to about 1981, so mid-century modern, a lot of retro things like that, and we're adding to it, but we're gonna sell that whole collection to one person as well.
All right, and tell us more about the building. What are the plans?
The plans of the building previously was I was gonna build the world's largest vintage arcade and mechanical museum, and me and my buddies went out and we bought like 305 vintage arcades in like 90 days, and we had all those down there. I didn't think about the bigger picture of a development of that magnitude, and there is people in the United States that's their lane, Carlos. And the reason that I asked you to come down here and visit with me is that's one of our main goals as our company is we would like to sell this property to a proper developer that knows this type of development, which you're going to see the building later. It's a beautiful building. We'd like to, in the meantime, we're going to start our antique business there, where we're going to sell all of our items, and then we're going to start buying items, bring them to the building, and process them, prep them, and sort them for proper sale. My thing is, the goals is to go all in on this company, where we sell everything and then we buy people's collections. We don't cherry pick them. We come in and we buy the whole thing, and then we bring it back to the building and process it. So when we sell the whole building, we'd like to lease back one floor with some docks and things, and that will be our headquarters for now, Burlington, Iowa.
So as you can tell, you probably had some people asking you, there's some similarities between like what you're doing and then maybe like the show called American Pickers, right? So what would differentiate you and the American Pickers show, so to speak?
Yeah, you can't deny Mike Wolf and Frank Fritz, right? I mean, those two are OGs, definitely. They're from this area. I'm from Burlington, Iowa, and Mike is LeClaire, Iowa. He's headquartered, I believe, in Nashville now, but yeah, great guys, and they have their thing, that's their lane. They do really well in advertising, and they have a shop down there that they sell goods at. We're a little different, so what I'd like to do, especially with my experience in auctioneering, back in the day, a service would need a liquidation of an estate, personal items, and we would carry it out, and an auctioneer would get up there and chant and sell the items, and it's just not as efficient. A lot of auctioneers specialize in land or machinery, residential property, but the small goods, it's transitioned to different outlets. We want to be one that will come in. We have the building. I've talked about that, and we can talk about that more later. We have the experience. We can come in and buy an entire collection, wire you the money, pay you a check right there. And then what we can do is, one of my longtime business partners, he owns a trucking company, so we'll bring the semis right to you. We'll load up the whole semi, we'll negotiate a deal, load up the semi, take it to our warehouse, process it, and that's the idea. I guess my main thing is, with my experience, my little funnel that I know, over the last year or two, I wish there was a company out there that I could have called and they could have came in and bought all my items at a fair, negotiated price. Both people are happy, and it would just come and go away and left in broom swept condition and not cherry picked. I've been selling my collection off, but I don't show it all to one person when they come in. It's interesting, they come for one piece and then they buy out 3 or 4 other pieces and they leave the piece that they were coming to buy in the first place. And it doesn't feel very good when you've started at something small and traded up or bought and sold and swapped, and then have all these items and someone just come hit you for 3 or 4 or 10 or maybe your top 5% or whatever that is. Then you're hanging with the other items. What do I do with them? I wish there was a company out there like I want to build, but that's the way it is right now. I've been working for the last 4 years on this specific building and this antique buying and selling and business by myself for too long. And thanks to Carlos and thanks to Craigslist for finding us together today. I guess, that's probably enough for here, but Carlos and I talked for about 5 minutes before we're doing this right now. And we just want to build a community. We're going to talk about our items. I want your help. I need your help. I know a lot about items, but not an expert on it. There's a lot of good search engines and where you can find comps. And when we sell all of our items, and you're going to help us which way, we're going to ask your advice because we need it. And then when we go buy stuff, we're going to be able to offer them a fair price and a great service. So thank you. So I think that's enough right here on my sofa. I think what I'm going to do is show Carlos one of our storage units of antiques. We're going to show him around Burlington and West Burlington. He just got here not long ago, and we'll showcase you the building too, because that's something really special. We're gonna end it here at my house right now, and I'm gonna show Carlos around. I'm excited to show him. We'll see you there. Hey, welcome back, guys. We're at the building downtown Burlington, Iowa. This was formerly the Lamont building. They made baskets, they made hampers. Back in the 30s, they used to make wicker coolers, basket coolers. They sold a lot to Walmart. They shut down their business. They properly maintained this building for the last 100 plus years. But anyways, they shut down their company, and I bought the building 4 years ago. So let's go on a tour. This is the warehouse that I bought November 2019, and this will be Carlos's first time seeing it too, who graciously is editing this for me. So hey Carlos, thank you bro, I appreciate you.
Awesome.
And let's go through because it's everybody's first experience. So again, this was Lamont Limited, I believe was the name of it, but there's properties that are around like the 1890s. There's a 3-story building over here. But what Lamont did is they bought up the buildings and they added more to it. And then, so you'll notice some cool things. Like we're walking right into a ghost alley. This used to be an alley that ran all the way through the building, and they covered it all up. But come on, check it out. So right here, these are wrought iron shutters. This would have all been exposed, and that would have been a building, this would have been a building. But it's all one building now. This is a 3-story building. We can go through that, or we'll show the front of it. We can take a picture of the front. This property could be its own building. Obviously, it need its own designated electricity, but that is something that could be subdivided. And over here, this is Main Street, but the cool thing about this, if you have box trucks and whatnot, this is interior dock system. So basically, I know you probably can't see it, sorry it's dark, but the nice thing about it is covered up, you know, so it's not exposed docking. Let's go in here. This is pretty wild. We'll walk down over here. This building is really nice, I like it. It's all concrete pillars. And then if you look at the concrete floors up there, I'm not a structural expert or an engineer or anything, but I hired one, and the quality of construction is really nice here. But if you look, this is all facing Main Street. And we're gonna get mics too, we're gonna evolve, but this is all facing Main Street. Burlington, northern Santa Fe goes right around here. And it's got this great vibe to it. But the nice thing is our city invested a lot of time and energy. And if you see these barriers that go here, this all new concrete, they worked with Burlington Northern, and this is a quiet zone. So back when, in the day, excuse me, I'm out of breath a little bit. We just went down some stairs, or went up some stairs, excuse me. Back in the day, the trains used to come through here, blaring their horns, wah, wah, wah. The nice thing about it now is gonna be, it's gonna be a lot quieter. So if you do develop this for residential, it's got amazing views, river and city and bridge, and it's a lot quieter too, which is great. Hey, let's go this way. We can't currently get that door open, but we're on the first level of, I think this is 6-story building here. Carlos is gonna throw a picture in right now and show you the exterior of it. But there's 6 stories that are all the same square footage as this. B-HopsAntiqueShop would like to lease out this space and some others. This is where we're gonna process our vintage and antique items. And not just vintage and antique. Last summer we sold 2 semi-loads of Italian ceramic tile that we found. It was new old stock. It was just dead stock from 2007. And we can talk about that later, but we really helped that specific customer out with liquidating the remaining of his assets, if you will. So I guess what we'll do, Carlos, is we're gonna walk up 6 more flights of stairs. I do want to mention, if we'll spin around here, I believe there's 5 or 6 of these elevators here. They worked when we bought it. I've never used them. I don't even know how to run them. So we're gonna use the stairs. So let's go up 6 floors and we'll see you upstairs. Hey, one of our main goals at B-Hop's Antique Shop is to sell this amazing building, okay? And so I'm speaking to a developer. Carlos is gonna show us some views out here, but this property could be developed into condos, apartments, with all this open space. It'd be an excellent senior living complex if somebody specializes in that. The main thing, the main thing's taking this property from, you know, its taxes at $5,600, I believe they are. Developing it into something that is good for the community, and it brings in money to the community more than what it's doing now. There is a lot of tax credits out there. I'm sure big companies that will develop, you know, close to a 300,000 square foot building that we have right here. It's its own city block, ladies and gentlemen. It's overlooking the mighty Mississippi. Burlington Northern goes around it. I believe Warren Buffett owns Burlington Northern. I heard, and Warren, if you're watching this, you let me know if this is true, comment below. But I heard when they put in this new bridge over here, I heard you grabbed a sandwich up at Tom's Market and watched one of the trestle bridges. So if that's true, give a like and a thumbs up. Basically, our building has amazing city views as well, with all the church steeples. They're all lit up at night. Carlos will show us some more here. If you know anybody, if you know somebody that develops really kick butt buildings, this is one. Just have them reach out to us. Thank you. Hey, Brian here again. Welcome to B-HopsAntiqueShop. And we just came from the storage, my warehouse building that we bought. And we're in one of my storages. We'll go over some of the items that we're showcasing and offering for sale. And we'll just talk about them. I guess we'll start with the squirt sign. We picked this up at an estate sale a while back, but it's from 1947, the Squirt Company. It is 10 foot long. Right down here, it was made by Evans Glen Company in Marietta, Georgia. Of course, made in the USA. The model number's M61. But anyhow, with this sign, we were able to find, this one's from 1947. We were able to find a 9 foot comparable for sale, but we weren't able to find the 10 foot. I'm sure it's out there. But we have this on eBay right now. I believe it's $3,500 or make an offer. You'll need to come pick it up. But we're gonna sell this, and along with the other items I'll show you, and we're gonna reinvest it and more. So thank you. This is a piece, I need to get it out of this storage facility. This is an old cabinet from Drake Hardware here in Burlington, Iowa. I thought it was a killer cabinet, how big it is, how much it holds. So this is a local Burlington piece I need to sell. Obviously they'll need to come pick it up. We'll make a deal on that. Pretty unique item. If you research Drake Hardware, it was an old hardware company, and its building's right on the Mississippi River, but it has a lot of history. Santa Claus, he scares me, man. Somebody come by him, but he came out of Schramm's department store in Burlington, Iowa, probably from the 50s, and he spins, and he's made by kind of a famous maker. We have them on eBay for like $400 or $500. A lot of times during Christmas, they'll sell for like $1,000 or more. But somebody needs them for a store display. I'll give a really good deal on them. Come pick them up. My Kmart Icy guy from the 90s, not for sale right now, guys. We're holding them back for kind of a cool community project we'll talk about later. Moving over here, we got Ronald McDonald right down here. You saw him before in the first video, but this is the table he sits on. This is probably 1983, I'm guessing. And you find him around once in a while. He's pretty uncommon, but the hard part to find is the original table. And 5 stools would have sat around him. So with Ronald, he is available. Right now we're offering him for trade. So I bought my first piece of McDonald's in probably 96, I'm guessing. And I'll show you some of my items that I have in my personal collection. But these are really hard to come by, and we are trying to build up our collection for, like I said, a special project, which we'll talk about later. And so right now Ronald's offered for trade. So if you know anybody out there that has a Mayor McCheese, we're looking for a Hamburglar swing set. I'll show you the Hamburglar that we have that goes on top of a slide, but we're gonna offer them for trade. If you notice over here, we got, these are 3 bouncies, fillet of fish, the fry guy, and then if you zoom in over here, Carlos, I don't know if you can see, but down there, there's 5 more of those. This is pretty unique. Right back over here, you're gonna zoom out, I'm sure. This is a single malt Scotch advertising, and it is, I forget the name of it, Highland Single Malt Scotch. That is a big tall giraffe, and there's his head over there. It's Glenmore Can you see that Glenmore E? But he won't fit in here because the ceilings are too tall. But I found one example of him, and this is where we're gonna need your help from the community. I found one example of him, and it was a marketing in Dubai, and they had the same statue there. And so we bought that for our project, but that is available for sale if somebody wants it. Pretty unique. I just need to know how unique it is and get it to the right collection, because right now Scotch and bourbon and all that stuff's pretty kind of sought after. So you saw the Joel sign. That's a local piece we're gonna keep. I've never shown this before. I found this about 2 years ago. I was buying a lot of Burlington items. I bought this wagon over here that was found on Facebook in Omaha, and it's made in Burlington, Iowa, and it's made by the Burlington Buggy Company. Right there it is. And it left in the 1920s from what I was told. There was somebody out of Omaha that bought the last 22 of them and shipped them out there, I believe by rail car. And they had an estate sale. It was sold to somebody else, and then we bought it from them. One of our friends found it for us, and we got it back to Burlington. We are selling our Burlington items, and that is for sale right now, $3,500. We'll help you load it up, and we're hoping somebody from the area will buy it and be able to use it or display it. Haven't seen another one, but my point is this. We found that on Facebook Marketplace. We found this in Florida. I've never seen one before, but it came out of Chicago. Carlos, you have history in Chicago, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this came out of Chicago, and it was in the Rock and Roll McDonald's. And if you do any research, I was researching the Rock and Roll McDonald's. They had a kind of a controversy, like, they were selling drugs out of the drive-through window. If you Google it, you can see the interview. Of course, shut that down. That's not good. They did a total remodel. But anyhow, this is the Happy Meal McNugget Stomp, and it's a cocktail table. So it's missing its legs right now, but this will stand up obviously, and it's a giant cocktail table. I've never seen another one. This is something, again, we'd like to trade for items that we need for what we're doing. Talked about the sport sign. We're gonna get into pottery. We're gonna sell a whole collection of pottery, which we'll talk about in a different video. Up here on the shelves is a lot of arts and crafts, mission style, a lot of Fulper, but we can talk about all that. But we're gonna get that into the right collections. This is all mission style over here as well. This is a prison radio. And we have Fort Madison prison down in Fort Madison. My grandpa actually worked there, but they're clear so you can't hide anything in them. For some reason people collect them. This is an old trade token. You stick in, I think this one's a dime. Get a gumball, but they used them for gambling devices back in the 30s. I think if you won, you would get a pack of Lucky Strikes. We have a lot of old photos. We haven't posted anything really from the first video, the wishing well, the B-Wing fighter. We're gonna try to build up our community a little bit, at least get a couple hundred friends, and maybe they'll share it. But we are gonna put this B-Wing fighter on eBay and start it at $1 no reserve, and find a new happy home for it. Down here, Camel Advertising. This is 1930s. It's Art Deco. Camel cigarette company. I just love the look of this lady model here, and it's kind of a flapper era, if you will. But these are easel backs, and they fold so that they could stand up, probably in a store window, I would say. but that's for sale. These are items that I just don't want to ship. I collected some signs. That's my favorite real estate sign I ever bought. I got it on eBay several years ago, but that's from the Atomic era, if you will. I really love the design of it, and it definitely screams mid-century modern. Of course, I'm a realtor, so it kind of appealed to me. But if anybody remembers, I have a 26-year-old, and we played Call of Duty. Do you remember there was a map, and it was like two houses close together, but I thought it was like the Atomic era. But that's a really nice piece there. That's going to be for sale. Hey, final thoughts here on storage unit 1, the collection. It's hot. It's been a long few hours here. I'm very grateful and appreciative again to Carlos for coming out here and helping me today. I guess we're gonna learn the process and we're gonna move where the community wants us to go with it. But we will be showcasing some collections. We'll sell all of our advertising in one kind of collection. We'll showcase that. I have a bunch of sports memorabilia. We're gonna sell it all in one collection. So we'll showcase kind of a show and tell, if you will. But thanks again, and we'll see you.